From a lot of angles, the Mac OS that just came out looks a lot like previous Mac OSs. You got your dock, you got your desktop, and all that. But if you start using your fingers, you're going to find that it actually behaves a lot more like an iPad now. Let me show you what I mean. So it may look like an ordinary desktop. With a flick of your fingers, you get what's basically an iPad home screen. They call it the launcher here in Mac OS Lion. There's even a little folder view, so you could put secondary apps and other files in a secondary folder and access it the way you would on an iPad. New apps, starting with a lot of Apple's apps, run in full screen. Here's GarageBand, for instance. Here is the new Mail app. So in Safari, you can actually go forward and backwards in the browser using your two fingers. So you go two finger, that's forward like that, and then of course two fingers you go backwards like that. Now there's always been the two-fingered scrolling, but now there's also one more two-finger gesture, the tap to zoom. You just find something you want to look at, tap to zoom, it zooms in, and then it zooms back out. So the two-finger swipe is how you get pages in the browser. The three-finger swipe, you got three now, is how you jump between apps. Now, to launch, the launcher is three fingers plus your thumb. All right, let's see if we can do it. There you go. Now, the most important gesture is actually four fingers up. That launches what's called Mission Control. Here you see all of the different apps that you have open in full screen. You can actually rotate through them in preview by just flicking your three fingers across like that. These are all just previews of the windows that are open. If you're on the desktop, for instance, it'll let you click on any particular app or window that's open. If you have multiple apps open, it'll do what it did before with Expose, which is let you grab a distinct window, and it'll come out on top. There's no more Expose, there's no more spaces, it's all Mission Control, but to be honest, it all feels like it's still there. Even if you figure out how all these gestures work, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to master them very quickly. The one I've had trouble with is the three fingers plus the thumb. Sometimes this does this, and sometimes I accidentally bump it up and get Mission Control when I want to flick and clear the desktop. You can turn off some of these gestures. You can set them differently, so if you find other things make you comfortable, that's great. But again, see, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Sometimes you just can't get the gesture that you really want. You probably figured out that if you want a really fluid transition between traditional Mac computing and this more modal behavior, you're going to have a newer Mac with that trackpad. If not, you're going to have to pay $69 for the Magic Trackpad product on the site. It comes down to this. If you're upgrading to the newest Mac OS and you're not using the trackpad and the gestures, you're not getting the full value out of Lion. For MSNBC.com, I'm Wilson Rothman.